So today we are going to make puff pastry year 10. Obviously it's a skill that you'll need to acquire when you're cooking. Okay, so we've got 225 grams of plain flour in this bowl. And in this bowl here I've got chopped up pieces of butter, cold butter. There's 225 grams. And then I've got 225 millilitres of cold water. Okay, so all my ingredients are already here. I'm going to make a well in my bowl here. Okay, taking my water. I might not need all of this water, so is it wise for me to put all of the water in? No, it is wise for me to use a small amount. Okay, if you have any questions as I'm making this, please put your hands up and then I can answer them for you. So I'm using my hand as a machine now, making my dough. You guys should be familiar with this by now, okay? There we go. I'm going to put a little bit more in at a time. So it's really hard to take water out of an ingredient. It's really, to be fair, it's impossible. You've just got to add more ingredients in there, and we don't want to do that. Our aim is to get it just correct, okay? So small amounts of water, using one hand to support the bowl and the other hand to bind the dough. Okay? You can see that I'm not putting my hand straight in the water. I'm taking my dry ingredients and covering it. Okay? It's a little bit tough because normally when we're making dough we have some oil in here, we have other ingredients, but today we are just using water and flour. Here we go. Coming together nicely. See, just by me putting that extra tiny bit of water has made it a bit squidgy, but that's okay because I'm just going to knead this a little bit. This much isn't too bad, okay, because we can control this. Okay. Now, on my surface, I will take a little bit of flour. I don't need the water anymore, so I'm going to let that go. Taking some flour, dusting my surface. Okay, taking my dough. Now, my hands are a little bit sticky, so I am just going to take some flour from the surface and I'm going just to knead my dough for a few seconds, okay? Not too long. I'm going to put this in the sink. Now, I need a little bit more flour. I'm going to need lots of flour when I'm doing this, but a small amount at a time, okay, because it works better that way. Making my dough into an oblong shape, rough oblong shape, okay? Do you have a question, Edson? No. Okay. Brilliant. Now, rolling it out. Turning it around. Because I've got flour on this side, okay? I want to make sure I haven't got any sides are not too thick and the other sides are not too thin, okay? But I want to keep this at an oblong at all times. So what I'm going to create here is pockets of butter. So when we have puff pastry, it's able to puff because it's got some butter in between, okay? So it's a little bit sticky. So what you're going to do if it's a little bit sticky, take some flour on your rolling pin, okay? Again, oblong shape I want to keep. Taking some parts of my butter, breaking them up in my hands, okay? This is why it is important to cut them up small. Okay. This creates the layers. The butter will melt while we're cooking, okay? And it's cooking in the oven. It will get softer as we're rolling it out, okay? That should be enough butter. I'm just going to squash some of these particles here. And now I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to fold it over halfway and then this way halfway as well, okay? It is a little bit sticky, okay? So what I'm going to do when it's sticky, anybody?
Flour.
Excellent. Get some flour, okay? I'm going to put some on top as well. The flour, the butter, when it melts, it creates those lovely puff layers, okay? I spun it around after doing that. Again, I'm going to roll it, coming this side. I can break the butter particles up like this if I want to, okay? Rolling it out. We're putting the butters to create the layers for the puff pastry. Yeah? So now this side's done now, I will be squashing the butter again with my fingers and popping some more on. This is what we call puff pastry, okay? Last week we made short crust pastry, and today we are going to try puff pastry. It takes a little bit longer, I know, but as you can see I'm squashing it up in my hands a little bit, and my butter is cold, so that's fine. Some people melt butter as well and just brush it on. Okay. So while we are doing this, somebody else could be in your team, could be making the filling, okay, for your pie. Now again, I'm gonna wrap it over, take it again, and I'm gonna turn it around, taking flour, making sure I've got enough flour, pushing it out, and then stamping it across. Okay, so I'm pushing the butter out. Here we go. I want to do this until all of my butter is finished. Okay, so I'm going to have to work a little bit faster. Okay, breaking my butter up with my fingers. Okay. Creating those layers, okay? You will see at your end result, you get beautiful puff pastry, and that's what you need. Anybody had puff pastry before? Anyone tell me the texture of it?
Fluffy.
Fluffy, flaky, yeah? Anyone made it before? No? Okay, perfect. First time. Put a little bit more over here. Okay. Folding it over. Now what do I have to do? Turn it. Well done. Taking it in my hand, dusting my surface. I'm going to show you something in a moment. Okay. Pushing it out. You see, I'm not making a tremendous amount of noise, okay, guys? So when it comes to you guys cooking, I don't want you to make so much noise. Right. Rolling it out. You can make puff pastry and keep it in the fridge as well for a few days if you like, so it's prepared. Because it's very easy to go to the shops and buy these ingredients, but to up your skills with this subject, this is the kind of skills that you need to show, okay, in your cooking. Okay. Just squashing it with my fingers. You have to be patient with this, guys, okay, when you're making it. You have to concentrate on it. Potentially I can do one more after this, okay? Put one here, some there. Wrap it up. Fold it. Here we go. Turn it around. Again, pressing it. Making sure that if there's any butter coming out the edges, we don't want that, okay? Pushing it in. Now, rolling it out. That's why I didn't go too near to the edges, okay? If you have a look at your dough, you can see the butter see through it, okay? So what's that creating is layers inside. As you can see, I just lifted it up just slightly. Trying to keep it equal. And when I started this, what shape was my dough? Can anybody tell me?
Oblong.
Oblong. Why was it oblong? Anyone know why it's oblong?
What's fit?
Think about what's happening here, what shape this is.
A rectangle.
Rectangle. So it's very similar, right? Okay. So I've managed to get it into this shape from the oblong shape, okay, we had in the beginning. Now I'm going to use all of this butter up now. Squashing the butter. So when you're working your tins, you have to work strategically. Somebody has to start cutting the butter, somebody has to start measuring the flour, somebody starts measuring the water. As you can see, I had 225 milliliters of water in there. I measured it on my scales. What I would say that have just 200 in there for now. If you need more, we'll take some more out from the tap, okay? Okay, nearly here. Last bit of butter. As you can see, I'm keeping it away from the edges, okay? Folding it over. Folding it over. Because it gives me 2 layers there, because this part has gone on top as well, okay? Picking it up, dusting my surface, stamping it out, and rolling. Okay? Now, I wouldn't want you to make this into a ball now. If you wanted to make different shapes from it, roll it out. Okay, don't form it into a ball. You can, but you might lose some of those layers, okay? If you're going to do that, then we'll just gently roll it out, take what shape you need from it, all right? Put some flour on here, pushing it out. You now, at this point, you can make it to what shape you would like it, okay? I have this tray here that I'm going to use today. A little bit of parchment paper. Looking by how much that I'll need of it, okay? So we're not using too much. Popping it down. And then what I can do is I can place this on here and chop the sides for it to fit, okay? Be careful because it is buttery, okay? And then we can cut the sides. If we want to, if we want to keep it a little bit bigger, that's fine as well. You can tuck it in. Okay. And then what will go in here, so with my knife, I will cut the edges, just not inside, just giving it some space here, just at the edge. Okay. And I'm going to show you the layers inside. So if you see there, you will see the layers of the paste of the butter and the pastry that we've created. Okay? Let me show that to you. And now that what that will do is it will create air pockets when it's cooking and it will puff out beautifully. You will put your filling inside here and then you will bake this, okay? For roughly about half an hour on about 160 degrees to 180. Okay? Right, thank you.